There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. No run back here on the opening kickoff, as we'll start at the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On the give, this is Harris. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're going to try and throw. Oh, he bowls over him. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Pickett. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And he's brought down.
Pass, catch, first down for Tunyon. Undrafted at Indiana State, but he really came on in 2020. 52 catches, and even more importantly, 11 touchdowns.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. Touchdown! Sammy Watkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off the play fake. Pickett. Rolling to his left. It's brought in by Harris. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Now on 4th down, honors the punt team, sending this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Going deep here for Watkins. They got his man complete. Touchdown, Packers. Sammy Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 3rd down, Pickett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give, running left is Harris. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. He'll let it fly for Austin. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Going deep here for Watkins. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Packers. Even later into his career now, there aren't too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. He'll let it fly for Austin. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And the Steelers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brian Allen. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. That's into the hands of Gafford, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Touchdown, Packers. Sammy Watkins, 45 yards. And the Packers open the lead up to 34-0. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Watch out now.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On play action, Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Rodgers again now. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers escaping the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Packers. Josiah DeGuara, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Packers have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
From the 24, Rodgers. He finds Watson. It's caught. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold, because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Open man left side, it's the tight end, Tunyon.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd and very short, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Now Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Steelers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Pickett. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Steelers on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Pickett flushed out right. And now here is another interception. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Guys, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. On play action. Now Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers to throw once more. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
You're not ready. You're not ready. 58 for Mike. 58. 58 for Mike. Watch the pass.
Now Rodgers. He finds his man complete. That's Watson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Steeler defense will celebrate the goal line stand. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Oh, I like this call. I know they weren't successful on it, but so many times defenses load up trying to get a safety when you're in this spot. How about taking the shot downfield, hoping to use their momentum against them? They didn't get it, but I sure like what they were doing there.
2nd and 10.
Focus, defense, focus. Tight end right. Tight end right. Go, Reed. Go. 19 right. 13.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers throwing here. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watson. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Rodgers now to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Ty Summers, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. Pickett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Rodgers looking to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory.